What's next for transportation energy? On today's episode, a conversation about the new Charging Analytics Program quarterly report with John Eichberger, Transportation Energy Institute's Executive Director, Carl Dunges, Executive Director of TEI's Charging Analytics Program, and TEI's Vice President Jeff Hovey.
We finally have the culmination of a lot of work and a lot of participation by industry to really wrap our minds around what's happening with EV charging, and specifically as it relates to site hosts and the people that are responsible for paying for the energy EV infrastructure and deploying it and selling it to the consumer, who, remind everyone, has the final vote on everything. And so it's absolutely critical that the site hosts make money on EV charging, and the charging companies. And to do that, you can't manage what you can't measure. And so TEI put in a lot of work with a lot of partners and a lot of companies to develop an analytics platform that really brought in all the EV charging data and cross-reference it with numerous metrics and attributes, such as the location is a charger on the highway, or is it an urban or suburban environment? Is what's the power level of the charger? What's the business vertical? Is it restaurant? Is it fast food? Is it a convenience store? Or is it just selling fuel that's co-located with the charging? And looking at all these different dynamics and then trying to understand, how does the charger perform? What's the utilization rate in all these different nuanced categories? And how many sessions are there? Because looking at utilization rate is a good indicator of how many electrons are flowing, which is a critical component to profitability. But also the number of sessions is equally important, because if you're the site host, you care about how many bites at the apple you get to move that person from the charging equipment into the store. And we really try to understand it. But then we wanted to take it a step further, and we did something called cluster analysis, benchmarking analysis. And this is done so no matter where you are in the United States, you can sit there and say, okay, this is what my area looks like. And I can scour the United States, and we do that automatically in our system to find all the locations that are almost identical or very similar to yours, based on the top 6 attributes that correlate to high utilization and session count. And then you can sit there and say, what can I expect from this location, based on not projections and algorithms on what it's going to look like, but what's the hard data show that it has performed in the past, over the last several years and to this point, in a site that's very similar to mine. And then you can also take that same utilization benchmarking data, and you can sit there and say, how is my current site performing? Am I performing at the level of the top performers? Am I at least at the average, or am I at the bottom, and do I need to step up my game? And so these are important metrics and insights that we've put together to truly try and make EV charging for site hosts profitable from all aspects.
And we recognize that not everybody's going to want to get online and dive into the actual platform itself. So we've extracted the insights from the program and put into this quarterly benchmarking report. This first one is free to the public, and it's looking at 15 months of data starting September 2023 to December 2024. And in that time frame, we were collecting data from about 2.5 to 3 million charging sessions a month. And from that, we derived insights. We provide a lot of comparisons, a lot of trend analysis in this report. A couple of the big takeaways that when we were pulling together the data, I found fascinating is that 70% of all the charging sessions in this data set over that 15 months, 70% of all charging events occurred within 1 mile of a highway ramp. And that tells you something. It tells you that's that's your most active areas along highway interchanges. The 300 plus kilowatt chargers accounted for 55% of all charging sessions. Average charging duration was between 38 and 44 minutes. And quite frankly, the sessions were longer in the winter. And so you start pulling together insights like that. You start looking at what the relationship is, the utilization of chargers near a restaurant versus a convenience store. Start looking at different dynamics. So we've done that. This first report is available in April 2025, and it is free to the public. That being said, at the end of second quarter, we're going to be adding more charging sessions. We've already acquired them. We are now analyzing, starting in January 2025, more than 7 million sessions a month. And so we are able to actually filter by connector type, CCS, CHAdeMO, J3400. We're able to cross-reference in a variety of ways. So we're going to be adding more dynamic perspective to this report, and it'll be available for those who want to subscribe going forward. And every quarter we'll be enhancing the report, providing new data, new perspectives, and new insights to really help the market better understand their opportunities to invest and make a business decision to get involved in the charging business. What is your opportunity to actually generate a profit from putting chargers in front of your business location? That's what we're trying to do, is provide that insight to better understand what the best opportunities exist.
Yeah, and John mentioned that this is a very dynamic report. It is, and it has to be. The charging infrastructure in the EV industry is very dynamic. It's changing very rapidly as the demographics of who's buying EVs and where chargers are located. And when John mentions that we're taking on this vastly larger number of charging sessions, that's important. So for people that are looking at this quarterly report, we're already working on the next quarterly report, and there's significant changes that you're going to see. And just that vast number, it's a big part of that is the industry agreeing to consolidate and all use the J3400 or the Tesla connector. And we're going to be monitoring that, and we're rolling that data in on the next report. So you're going to get this quarterly report, but the next one's going to have that, and that's why the numbers go up. And this is significant because we're already seeing some pattern changes as you migrate into the J3400 connector. And so this is a very dynamic situation, and at each quarter you're going to see new insights that are really significant.
I think the idea that we have to be more prescriptive in where we're locating these huge infrastructure investments is going to become critical, right? We're seeing less and less federal funding and grant dollars that are going to be available, for these sites. So to John's point, it's even that much more important that we be prescriptive and we have this data to base our business decisions on that, so we can hopefully get an ROI. Right? It's very difficult to do in the charging world right now. So we have to look at ancillary income as opposed to just trying to sell electrons.
What's Next for Transportation Energy is a production of the Transportation Energy Institute. Find out more about us at transportationenergy.org.